This is Tech Tuesday. Take it away, Ben.
All right, thank you, thank you. My connection is lagging a bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get started. Welcome to Tech Tuesday. So today is kind of a self-directed course. We're streaming live on Air Digital Worldwide via our Zoom Intercept feed, via the Spirit of the Game Foundation and the World of Ability Network. All right, so we're gonna clear the room immediately. Analytical thinkers love systems because systems are safe. It feels like work to sit in a room for 12 hours configuring a database. It feels like progress to adjust a layout or tweak a landing page on Vercel before you even spoken to a living, breathing human being who actually needs your help. So let's call it what it actually is: productive procrastination. You're building an elaborate digital monument for an audience that hasn't even told you they care yet. An automated system accelerates a broken, unverified process. Is that it's just a more expensive way to fail. So the hard law of Tech Tuesday is if you cannot sell your solution to a single human being using nothing but a phone call, a piece of paper, and a pen, then software will not save you. Automation is just a magnifying glass. If your core idea is blurry, confusing, or unwanted, automation just magnifies the chaos. So today we put the tools down. We're going to use direct communication to find out exactly what the real bleeding edge operational pain, where that lives for high performing individuals and social equity startups right now. All right, so the first thing we're going to go over is the three-step discovery engine. So instead of building out complex software stacks, your only objective today is to run a raw, reset using three historical fact-based questions. So when you're looking at a target founder, a humanitarian leader, or an entrepreneur out in the field, you don't pitch them with a product. You audit their manual workarounds. So you're gonna write these three things down. So step one is auditing the past behavior. So you want to ask them, how did you handle your core logistics or your project tracking last week? If they tell you they manually copied the names from like an email chain into a chaotic group thread, that's your raw data. So if they haven't actively tried to solve these, by hand, the pain point really isn't urgent enough to build a business around. So the second thing is to isolate the bleeding edge. So you ask, what was the exact moment the wheels fell off the truck during that process? You're listening for operational and emotional breakdown, like a critical assignment getting missed, forcing the founder to handle the crisis themselves while their phone blows up. That is the real problem. Leader burnout caused by communication dropouts during live execution. And the third step is to watch the workaround. So you look at the exact notebook, the messy spreadsheet, or text chain that we're currently surviving on. That sloppy workaround, that's your software blueprint. They're already fighting the battle by hand. Your job isn't to invent a system out of thin air. Your job is to take that messy workaround and make it 10% cleaner. And that's every day, every week when you come in, just making it better and better to where you finally get to a refined full system. All right. So moving on, we're going to talk about, fulfillment. Okay, so once you isolate that friction for a high performing individual, you do not send them a software link. You deploy a manual concierge service through a custom project management agreement. You look that founder in the eye and tell them, stop managing that text thread. Put your phone down. Hand that task over to a daily accountability network. Manually verifying your team's updates, lock in the confirmations and deliver a clean operational report to your desk every morning before your boots even hit the dirt. So you execute that completely by hand, no servers, no complex coding, just raw human effort, discipline, and direct communication. Running it manually shows how you can test the logic of the actual project, not just trying to get a lot of data, but seeing how the actual service or idea works. So the most important thing is when a startup founder has a project management fee, because you save them, when they hand you that for saving them hours of logistical chaos for protecting their sanity, that's when it's really alive. You're making revenue, you're building social equity before even spending a single dime on development. And that is the huge, aha moment that I'm trying to present to this community. You are not just a humanitarian, a sustainability founder, an idealist. You are a game changer in an industry. So, looking at the problem that you want to solve, go to companies that have that issue, find solutions for them, and find ways to do it in mass. And then your purpose will become so great that you'll be able to automate a system that works. So here is your Tech Tuesday command. Step away from the website builders, turn off your automation tools. Before the sun goes down today, identify 3 real high performing targets in your space. Reach out to them directly. Ask them 3 discovery questions. Listen to their current operational friction. Document their exact words. If they need a daily community for accountability, networking, and project execution, pull them straight into the home base of arieljudah.com. Have them join this call with you. Lock them into a partnership. Let's get logistics sorted out by hand today. We can work on it together. We can scale it with tech tomorrow. We'll figure it out today. Tomorrow is Workaholic Wednesday, where we're shutting down the doors for a deep solo focus, locking down our healthy life, our time blocking, auditing our business, our automations, journaling our progress, making sure you hit the gym and protect your physical stamina. So step out of the automation trap, clear your desk, and execute. Remember the house law. What's fun gets done.